Alright, Jess. Let's get you some block strings. This one's for you. So, got Jiren here. The thing you need to know the most about him are, aside from his L's, everything he does is stupid slow. 12 frames, average for a regular like 5M is around like 10 or 9. For 2M, 13 frames. 13 frames is kind of slow. Some people get it around like 10 or 11. Throw, forget about it, dude. The H, 26 frames. You gotta know, every time you use any one of his normals, you have to know exactly what you're doing. You kind of can't autopilot with Jiren. And that's why I kind of tell you how you have to slow down the gameplay, because Jiren by himself, he's kind of a tricky, kind of defensive player. Got these counters. These right here is basically your block string, basically enders. And right here, you also have counters in the middle of your block strings. And those will throw off your opponent so that you can get some really interesting punishes. I'll show you in a sec. But a good Jiren mentality to have is to show your opponent that you're capable of using all of these things, so that they're wary of all of those things. So stuff like calling out counters and stuff. Even if you have to use like the EX one and you're not going to call out specific highs or lows between these two, just show them that you are ready to fucking mess them up if they choose to press buttons. Same thing, like, you also have this right here. It's a really interesting exchange that you can do. For anybody with a 6-frame jab, you're able to, if you do 2M into the I guess key blast, you get free shit, and it could actually be pretty decent damage, since it's a key blast starter and it's only one hit. Another thing you can do is this right here. This right here is only -2. Let's turn that off. This is -2. So you can do stuff like that. See how you notice like the frame advantage changes a little bit. You want to be able to time it so that you can basically cover the gap where they may press the jab button and try and challenge you. That way you'll stuff them. So into more block strings. You already know about these counters. You can use them with assists, so you can go like that. It resets the entire, basically light, medium, heavy chain, so that you can do the entire thing over again. Or you can just do like, just go for a grab. But that one's stupid high block stun, so whatever. An interesting thing is, if they're up in the air, let's say they do, let's make them jump. When they land, they get 6 frames of delay. So, that being the case, when you actually swat them out of the air like that, chances are they'll just hold on to the ground and try to keep on blocking. So it's actually the best time to actually go for a grab. And since they every time they land in block stun, they are instantly -7 or -6. So no matter when they land, it'll always be within like grab time. They won't have like invincibility on it. So the interesting thing about this one counter is that if you do it correctly, you can be stupid far away and be able to punish their buttons. Like I'll show you right here. Let's make him hit M. Let's see here. Okay. Hit 2M then. Okay. That one doesn't work, but normally people won't wake up with an M, because that's crazy. Except Mo. Because Mo gets armor. We won't talk about that. Alright, so if you do this at certain ranges, you can get free punishes like that. They try to come out and just press a button at the end of your block string. Because it's so fast, you're able to poke them out of whatever it is that they're doing. But it has to be the medium one, because the medium one's 25 frames, while the other ones are like 43, 45. So, at full range, you're able to stay far away and just punish them. Yeah, so you can get stuff like that. Mid-screen, let's check out your options. So, let me just turn this off. So, you can just do the regular stuff. You're able to just continue moving forward like that, just regular that. You can also, if you hold this out right here, it covers basically every option they can do. So you just go like this, and if they press anything other than super, you'll stuff them. So you can do this, and then just continue running up and doing whatever it is that you do. This, like, throws don't even beat it, dude. Dragon rushes, projectiles, normals, dude. If you ain't using a super, you're not getting through that. Like it's just, it's wild, dude. This shuts down the entire game until, like, freaking 50 frames in. So, this one right here is nice, because it has a 1 frame gap in between everything, and hitting it counts as a medium starter, so you get stupid amounts of damage on it. So if they were throwing out normals and shit, it'll hit. And then you just it's free. If you're just pressing buttons, that shoulder charge will get them every time. Same thing with, like, that that key blast I told you about. Alright. So, for the most part, this hitbox right here, it'll catch just about anything. Like, if you look at her, it says combo damage on top of Jiren's head right there. That's about how high the hitbox reaches. So this works as an anti-air. If they also try to do instant air dash over you, let me just get that squared out. Okay. So say they try to do one of these. It'll auto track and it'll just swat them out of the air. Like even if it misses, you move forward so they miss you just like that. Like, there's no reason not to press this button if they're in the air. Like, it's just that good. Unless they're doing, like, some stupid stuff like Broly Jump C. Shit's armored. But that's another issue that I don't need to talk about. Not salty. Alright. Alright, so there's that. So, as usual, you still have, like, you can go from the front, like I said before, throw in the counter, or you can do one of these. Depending on how far you dive with this this attack, you'll get the first punch or the second punch. But the thing to note is you can't do it immediately in front of them, or else you kind of can't reach them. So, in the middle of the block string, you have to be like kind of like almost half a character's length away, so you're able to cross up, or else it's not gonna hit. So let's switch to guard first. Alright. There we go. So here are just some options that you can do. Yeah, so stuff like that. You can get a lot of mileage on a lot of the stuff Jiren does, but it still is a little wonky since his startup on a lot of his stuff are pretty high. But Jiren can do a lot. You just have to press the buttons you need to press at the right time. So basically, sum it up. You got these normals. You can, at certain ranges, you can hit that and counter. Like that. And then you just 2L. 2L is your best friend. 8 frames for the equivalent of a friggin' medium starter. Just can't beat that, man. So call them out on with your counters. Make sure that they're aware of it so that they stop pressing buttons, even if you have to burn meter for it. Because shutting down your opponent is basically what Jiren does the best. So the moment they stop pressing buttons, start going for grabs. Start varying up when you go for grabs. So you can start going and just going like that. Like, so long as your opponent's not aware, you use whatever grabs you want. So you can start going. If they're not aware, it's just free grabs all day. If they start jumping, that's when you start doing, if they start jumping, in order to get out of your grabs, that's where you start throwing in this low right here. That'll catch their jump frames because they'll stop blocking low. So my favorite spot to throw grabs is actually right here when I hit this M. So I do. Oh, come on. Right there. It's a favorite time to throw grabs, because if they're matching buttons, then If they're trying to jump out of it, they'll get caught by this, the 2M. But they'll get caught by the 2M. But if they're just trying to mash buttons, they'll still continue to block. If they're still mashing buttons, they'll get stuffed by this right here. Or this. And then do whatever you want to do, whether it's like call and assist, burst. It's probably a dead character. Alright. Save combos for a different time, but that's all the stuff you really need to know about Jiren's block string strategies.